Hi everyone, welcome to this webinar tonight. The topic of webinar is what's usually stopping us from finding the one. I will bring some insight from both psychology and coaching. This is Sara Green. I am a provisional psychologist and relationship therapist and coach. So, the love these days is like a puzzle. It's interesting that we meet more people than ever, and there are lots of dating apps and endless choices through social medias and different places. But we face a lot of confusion, fear, and burnout because of too many choices, and we feel more disconnected than ever. So the psychology shows that it's not about the apps that we cannot find loves, or it's not about meeting other peoples. It's more about our patterns. The search for the one begins with understanding ourselves. So one of the shifts that should happen, and I always tell to my client who are searching for love, is that I try to bring awareness to themselves and say that, okay, you are looking for a right person. Are you a right person yourself for your future partner? So that's the main shift that should happen. If you are struggling to find a one, or you just, attract people that you think is not good for you, or even relationship starts but then end quickly, you need to look at these patterns and find out that, okay, you are looking for a person, right person, but are there things in you that's sabotaging relationship or stopping you from finding the person? Now we are going to look at um, this pattern now. Okay. So why this matters? Why we think, I tell all the clients and everyone who struggle, I say that you need to start with yourself and try to be the right person. The reason is we attract what we reflect. So kind of attraction is usually it's our energy that determines who we draw into that. And our even emotional wounds, everything inside us that's like unconsciously attract other people. So the traits, like external traits, like as beauty, or the thing that you attract to at the beginning, they usually fade by time. But what matters in a relationship would be emotional maturity, empathy, and accountability. These are the things that helps the relationship last. So, self-work is what shapes our relationship. When we grow, love grows with us too. So, imagine, like, as an example, someone who fears rejection. I don't know if you have seen or not, these people usually chase unavailable partners unconsciously. So once they heal this fear, they can attract people who are emotionally open. So if you have this pattern, then if you have this fear of rejection or losing the relationship, pay attention to that. And if you, in the past, you attracted unavailable partners, see what is inside you that drawn this kind of persons to you. So if you can heal that, then you can attract people who are emotionally open. So one of the inner blocks is then the number one is unhealed wounds. So past pain, they can, write the love stories. When I say, for example, I had a client recently, I saw that she's just saying, I feel my partner is cheating on me. And then I was saying the first question I asked, and she was just, looking to see if, he's a cheater or not, and constantly repeating, I want to find out about this. The first question I asked was, have you been abandoned in your past relationship? How has been your father and mother? And she said, yeah, when I was 10, both of them left me. And I said, what about your past partners? And she said, yeah, my past partner also cheated on me. And I told her, this story will repeat itself. It's not just about your partner, what he does, it's your energy and who you are that, bring the same story into your relationship. So it's very important. So if in your childhood you feel unseen, unsafe, so you might cling, test, or shut down in adult love. So how like this happens? Like imagine like the example that I brought with like this client. You know, her father and mother left he left her like when she was 10. So now she panicked when her partner needs a space. So what she was saying that you know, I asking, why do you think that he's cheating on you? And she was saying, because he wants some space and like he's not as close to me as it should be. I don't know. I don't have any like symptoms or signs, but because he's not close or he takes some space, I have this feeling. So I always need to figure out, okay, is really his partner cheating or is she is too controlling and has fear of losing her partner and control her partner and accuse him. And if she does that, then she can bring this energy and even a partner who is not a cheater can start cheating. So it's very important that we pay attention to our own energy and heal that. So don't make a new partner pay for your old story, your parents or by your ex-partners. Be very careful what kind of energy you bring to the relationship. Is it energy of controlling, chasing, and with this energy you can suffocate other person. But we have the opposite energy, which is energy of love and appreciation, which is a very different energy. So what I gave as a start to this client for the first session was start with paying attention to your partner, good things, and bring appreciation to that, and write a journal, you know, bring kind of 10 things about him that you love and also about yourself. So I wanted her to bring energy of love to herself and her partner. She was so surprised with this practice. And she was saying, oh no, I just want to find out if he's a cheater. And then I was saying, okay, imagine even if he's a cheater, can you leave the relationship now? And she said, no. I don't know, I'm a student, I can't afford, I can't live, I have two very young children. And I said, so what? What do you want to find out if he's a cheater or not when you cannot leave him? So it's better than, let that unfold itself by a good communication, by bringing a good energy to the relationship. So you can see how this client was sabotaging her relationship because of past wounds. So then that was like about like about fear of rejection and abandonment. So um these people who have fear of rejection and abandonment, that really blocks them for having love. How? They try to self-protect themselves. So in a relationship beginning, for example, I have seen another person that, she was with a new partner And she was extremely get anxious when the partner, sending text message late, and like she was ruminating all day, and she was just becoming insane kind of that what's happening, why he's texting late, or why he's not first texting me, and over analyzing, and whole life was focusing on that. So this is because in the past, again, she experienced like abandonment with past partners and even with her mother. So when you even meet new people, pay attention to this. If they get, overly anxious in like late messages or things, or you yourself like that and trying to control from the beginning. So be careful with this pattern and try to work on yourself and bring that awareness to yourself and start filling your time and feeling more whole inside. And don't kind of put all your focus what other person do. They cannot read your mind, and you can just with communication little by little make these things better. And they don't, people don't exactly um, do what you expect. So be very careful with your expectation. Something is your mind, your expectation. My ex was doing that, so this person should do that. Just weigh your expectation as well. Not every person have the same pattern of texting or showing affection or things like that. So you should be patient with this. So there are, for example, some men or women who they say that I don't want to get too attached. As soon as like, they see it, like, for example, a lady bring something that, about marriage or about kind of commitment, they pull back. The same there are with women. There are some that really, get comfortable but by being single. And as they get too close, the fears start coming. Oh, is this the right person? I don't think it's the right person. And like, I don't want to, this is too soon. This is everything. And then they start pulling back. So these people have kind of fear of intimacy. So be careful about these patterns. And if your fear speaks louder than truth, practice staying open when it feels risky. Um, if you think there are some good things about the relationship, but your fears start sabotaging the relationship, give it some time, give it some patience, don't sabotage it just, because these things is missing or just, a couple of things is missing. Try to give it some time and slowly and see, is your fears stopping because of the past, what happens, or no, it's a real red flag or issue on incompatibility things. So the inner block number 3 is when you have unrealistic ideals and endless checklists. So many people treat dating like shopping. They look for perfection instead of compatibility. So, for example, many ladies we see say, "Oh, he is great, but not tall enough," or the man might say, "She's kind, but not my type." So by changing an image, we overlook real emotional safety. So by chasing an image. So we have like an image in our mind, image of ideal person, ideal which has all the characteristic of usually the past partners they didn't do. We want the new person, be opposite or have all of them. And if you have had couple of partners, usually they want someone who has every good characteristic of all of your past, partners. And then you have this ideal image and you say, oh, I don't settle, either I find this person, and then what happens, no one kind of is complete or perfection. So again, what happens if you see some good things in a person and if you see like there is a potential, be patient and try to give it some time and see if it develops something like good, because relationship is about building. It's not like always love in the first sight. Based on the research, just maybe 12 or 13% of people have love from the first sight. It's Most of people who have had a like happy relationship, around kind of 90%, they say at the beginning they didn't feel much. So then it's just, so give it some time if you see there are some potential there. So the other inner block is low self-worth and emotional unavailability. So I'm sure all of you have seen people who have low self-worth. If a person feels unworthy deep down, usually love can feel threatening. For example, they usually these kind of people chase for approval and keep the partners at distance to avoid being seen. So they are okay with, for example, distance relationship, a relationship which is not serious. But as it comes to the like real relationship, close relationship or intimacy, they pull back and they get distance. And what they usually say is, I know I'm not enough for you. And, they deep down, they feel that they are unworthy. So pay attention when, for example, you see someone and they start using things that, they say, I'm not good enough, or I'm a failure, or anything like that. Or like the things that show that they have this core belief that they are kind of not good enough or failure. This kind of people, they cannot emotionally become close, because they feel if I become too close, the other person know who I am, they won't love me. So and usually these people are constantly busy with work, workaholic, because try to fill that emotional void and deficiency with overworking. So, and then they don't have time, and they mask, kind of that fear inside themselves by, kind of overworking and being busy all the time. So how healing happens? So that is when start people by, working on themselves and knowing their value, and believing that, we should first believe that we deserve that love. So uh, is love, love is like, giving and receiving. So it's very important we check that, are we a good receiver of love? If in the past we are not used to people giving love to us, when someone, start loving us, we might feel threatened. Oh, this is unfamiliar. I'm not lovable. Maybe this person, it's like, worthless, or they cannot find a partner, or they want to, manipulate me or love bomb me. So they start questioning their relationship as they see that a person love them. So also pay attention to these, that see, um, it's like I've seen like many men and women, they go with people who have had like, kind of so many traumas in their childhood and things, and they haven't healed from that. And they think they can build a relationship with a person who, their parents left everyone and have those fears of inadequacy and, abandon inside themselves, but they bring this energy into relationship and sabotage that. So it's very important, if you have this issue, or if you see someone who has this, they, go and heal these traumas and wounds. So then it's very important you know your story. Before finding love, you need to explore how your parents express affection and conflict. What does love mean for you from your parents' side? What did you learn about trust, roles, or safety from your parents? Which patterns keep repeating in your past relationship? You cannot change what you don't understand. Self-awareness is the foundation for secure connection. So everything starts from us. It's every interaction, when something goes wrong with the partner, you need to check, is my partner becoming similar like my father, or is it my mother? Why I'm attracted to this person? For example, if your mother always criticizing you, you might get unconsciously to the partner that always criticize you. And then you don't know why, but you feel love as someone controlling you. Or when criticize you, you think, oh, that person, giving me a kind of attention in this way. And so it's very important because unconsciously we attract similar to our parents usually. So, and what are attachment awareness? It's very important you know what kind of attachment you have. We have four type of attachment style. We have secure, which people feel safe with closeness and independence. Then we have avoidant, that these people's, feels trapped by closeness and withdrawals. So, and also we have anxious people who they constantly seek reassurance and they have fear of abandonment. And also we have disorganized attachment style, which they once love but fears it at the same time. So you need to know what kind of attachment style you have. I have a whole presentation about the attachment styles. So this is very important in the relationship. And if you want to know more about this, go and check that presentation, which I have in YouTube. So once you know your style, then you can work on that and become more secure and healthier. And then you can attract a partner who is more secure too. If you have anxious or avoidant attachment style or disorganized attachment style, usually similar partners also get attracted to you. So it's very important that in secure attachment style, if we work on that. So it's very important we heal before connect. So what does that mean, healing before connect? First of all, you need to learn self-regulation techniques. I think I have like a whole again webinar and presentation about self-regulation techniques. It's very important, you have these skills and you work. What does self-regulation means? It means that when things happen, which kind of makes you emotionally get hurt, upset, or angry, or anything, which you go to fight and flight mode, and you have quick ways kind of to stay calm in the middle of conflict. So if you practice this self-regulation techniques and if you have these tools handy, whenever things happens in your life which is not what you want, you might get a bit upset or you might get a bit angry or anything like that, but quickly you can come to the base line, which is in calm and grounding state. For example, some mindfulness techniques, meditation, yoga, and also like a lot of skills about like the vagus nerve we have and how to like um, activate our parasympathetic nerves. All of this help in self-regulation techniques. The second thing is building self-trust. You need to have trust on yourself that as a partner, you are a good partner. So then you can trust others. If all the time you're saying you're comparing yourself with others, you're not happy with yourself, or like all the time, the parent inside you blaming yourself and feel you are not good enough. So then you don't have trust on yourself. How you can trust on your others? So you project these feelings to others. And number three is let go of any resentment in the past. You know, the Joe Dispenza has this interesting things that he has a video. I love it. He says that, to have love or to kind of you need to be loved. Anything that is inside you, which is not love, like resentment from other people, anger, anything which is not the energy of love, then you cannot be in love with other people. So it's very important if you have resentments in your past, so you forgive those people, and you can always work with a therapist if you have difficulty doing that, to kind of let go of those resentments and kind of heal your past. Otherwise you will bring that baggage to a new relationship and it affects your relationship. So remember, if you don't heal it, you will relive it. So again, live the same story. So, and the other kind of point is the power of accountability. So imagine you've kind of even find the right person. Are you a person that you can take accountability and for example, um, you say that when things happens, you say, I see how my words hurt you, and instead of blaming the other person, do you do any self-reflection on yourself? What I usually pay attention to people is when they come out of a relationship and they look for a partner, are they still kind of just blaming their past partners, or also they can reflect on what things they can do better this time? What has been their role in like unsuccessful relationship in the past? So it's very important when you have this ability to self-reflect in the relationship, in your especially past one, and see, can you take some accountability for some of the conflicts and like things that happened in the past, or you have always been a victim and you just say, my ex has been a narcissistic person, and like, it's all their fault that you went through breakup, and you don't wanna you know accept even like 10 or 20%. Who say 90% you accept responsibility, but accept some parts, because every partner has a role in a relationship success, and your role might be in like ending a relationship less, but still we need to accept that we all have a role in that. So that's very important, that you, when in a relationship something goes wrong, you try to listen, repair, and grow. This is called relational humility, which is the mark of maturity. So that can, build emotional safety even faster than apology. They say, apology is not, some people that say, okay, I made this wrong thing and I apology, what's wrong with you? But apology is not enough. You need to, there are steps for kind of, if you hurt someone or if you did something wrong, that help to repair the relationship. You need to go and learn those ones. Otherwise, just with an apology, not the damage usually won't reverse. You cannot reverse the damage just with a simple apology. So the other important things in love is having a growth mindset in love. Love is not found, it's grown. Conflicts are not signs of failure. Some people, they go to a new relationship and as soon as the conflict starts and say, oh, we are not compatible. But Jordan Peterson has a like nice quote. He says that You cannot build a relationship with someone unless you go to at least 1,000 fights and then you know each other more. You need to go through that to build a long relationship. So look at the conflict as a chances to understand each other. If you like someone, um, you know, don't look at the conflicts as a sign of failure. So at the end, it doesn't matter who you end up with. You will repeat the same pattern until you become the right person. So choose partners who want to learn, not just be right. So some people just want to be right in a relationship. I'm sure all of you seen these people. I am who I am. I won't change. And so it's important we accept people the way we see and we don't all the time want to change them. But also it's important that to have a growth mindset. If you see someone that say, 10 years ago, I'm the person that I'm now, then I think you should run away. That's not a relationship because every kind of 10 years in this world with this much information, it should be a huge change in a person's life and in their personality. And it's important to ask this question, how have you changed like in the past 5 years or 10 years? What did you learn about yourself or relationship or everything? And if they cannot reflect back or you see still, they think they haven't changed much, it's a big red flag. So, and so there are some like mindset shifts that if you bring, it can help you. First of all, people I've seen like many kind of people, they are themselves, they are depressed, they are unhappy, they are financially struggling, they have all the different issues. And then they want to find someone who is complete. And they say, oh, I really want a happy person that, I can make me happy. So, no one can make you happy. And I like this another quote I remember um, that from this lady that she says that your partner can make you a coffee but cannot make you happy. Happiness should come from inside, yeah? So don't depend on your happiness on other people. Otherwise, you will be disappointed all the time. So you need to create your own happiness first. And also, I hope they change. Never hope for changing. When you want change in your partner, you should start change from yourself, and maybe that affect your partner. It's like relationship is like a boat. If you change your place in a boat, in order the balance, the boat have a balance, the other person need to change its place too. So that is the only thing that can, change bring change into the relationship. You need to model the change that you want to see in the relationship. You cannot, see change without, yourself, be the same person. So the other things you might say, why do I attract toxic people? Instead of that, you should say, what part of me is still needs that or allows this kind of energy? What parts of me attracting this and how I can change um, these patterns? So if I want to like summarize these and do a reflection, so real love begins with self-reflection, healing, and also having humility. So ask yourself, what kind of partner do I want? Even you can write it down, what kind of partner. And in every characteristic you want your partner be check, see if you have that. If you want someone financially strong and stable, are you financially strong and stable? If you want someone who, for example, um, is like a happy, healthy, fit person, are you yourself like a happy person, fit person, and healthy person, or you are struggling in health? So ask this question from yourself. And if any areas you see, give a score to yourself. Any areas you think from 0 to 10, for example, you are still 5 or 6, but you want a partner who is 8 or 9, then that is the area you need to focus now. Because if you find someone who is higher in you, either financially or like mindset strength or spiritually, or we have these areas of life that you can search and find out. Find those ones and do it like give a score to yourself and see if any area in life you want a partner in higher. 10 out of 10, you should be 10 out of 10. And if there is any area is like, you see shortage, focus on that, and rather than focusing to find a one who is higher than you. And anyway, for learning more about this and, kind of deepen this journey, you need to, as I said, become the right person, and I can help you in this journey if you want. And there is a nice quote from Rumi, which is my favorite kind of poet. I really like this one, which is it says, "Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it." So let this be your reminder tonight. Love is not found, it is uncovered. So we all have love inside ourselves. So it's not something we go chase and we find. It will be uncovered when, we kind of bring inside, feel whole. Thank you very much for listening.